Good morning. I'm ready to eat out of Numbers chapter 14. And we're getting ready to see God do something that he said. You fit to see me change my mind. And what's going on in Numbers chapter 14? Thank you for joining me or joining us. You said, Brittany, I don't see nobody but you. Keep looking. Joining us. I'm representing a company. Anyway, I'm finna read what the company policy said. What happened in the company? I'm going to court this morning. I'm finna hear the testimony of Numbers chapter 14. This is the court's writing. So I'm not gonna pick and choose out of them. I'm just gonna call it what it is according to Numbers chapter 14. So interesting that just read this yesterday in its entirety for the first day of my life. I've been reading one book every day, and it has been read like that for the first time in my entire life. That I stopped to see exactly what was in the documents of the courts that God left for me to learn from. And I come before God as a child, as a little child. That's how I come. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. I ask the Lord to forgive me of my sins and forgive me of those who have done me wrong. You remember when Peter, or if you don't remember, Peter asked Jesus, he said, how many times shall I forgive my brother? And Jesus said, 7 times 70. And I guess if you did the multiplication, it would be 490 times. And that 490 times is somebody said, well, that was just a number to represent unlimited time. But it could be 490. So what Jesus was saying was, you got to forgive and forgive and forgive. You got to live a life of forgiving people. If they wake up in the morning, do you wrong, he said, forgive them. They go to bed doing you wrong, lunchtime do you wrong, talk about you, he said, forgive them. He's trying to equate to us that there's something better than what they're taking you through if you just hang in there and stay focused. Good morning. Morning. If we could just live a life that we forgive people all the time, no matter what they do to us. And I'm hearing the word said, because what I got in store for you, it is not worth it. Don't hold nothing against nobody. Don't make a decision based on, I don't want to do this. He said, forgive them. Forgive them. Now, what he did not say is that if you're the one that's causing that person to have to keep going through that, I'm going to deal with you. All I want them to do is stay focused. He said, but if you do anything to offend my brother, a little one. He said, I just told them, you just forgive them. But all this time I've been thinking that you just got to be the one that just keep taking stuff. He said, no. He said, you forgive. But it doesn't mean that I'm not looking at the iniquity of the one that you got to keep forgiving. That's a whole different book. You doing something that you need that much forgiving? He said, I'm not telling you that you can just keep on just dagging and doing and hurting and somebody got to keep on. He said, no, I told you the people to forgive you. But I never permitted for you to do the thing that need that much forgiveness. I'm just telling the folk that doing something, but just keep on, just. But you that's causing that man to go through that, your name is on a different page. So you don't want to be the one that's causing the other person to have to forgive. Because he said, I wasn't making room for you. I was just telling the people that if they're going to do you like that, it's going to be all right. But I ain't never closed both my eyes and watched that person that keep on taking you through that. I told you quit. So we got to know the difference between I'm forgiving you, but please don't be the one that I got to keep on forgiving, because you in trouble. In other words, don't do nothing today to cause somebody to keep on have to overlook what you did. Stop tripping up on people. Stop causing people to trip. Oh, Brittany, you just... Okay, Brittany ain't doing nothing. Brittany reading. Let's go into the Father's eyes and see how he was thinking. Let's get into his mind and find out exactly what was going on in Numbers 14. You know, let me say this. If you really want to get in the Word, I would say as a instructor in life, having been trained, I take one day and do one chapter. And I would start and keep it up until I get the whole understanding of that chapter. Now, if you start where I am in Numbers, I'm probably going to use somebody's name that might have changed. But the God that I'm talking about, he's going to still be the same. You might not know who they're talking about in particular when it comes down to the person. But the God of this book is going to be the same God of the book of Exodus and the God of the book of Leviticus and the God of the book of Genesis. So what he's saying is, you can walk with me, but you might have to go back in the class before today to find out exactly where and who we are and how we got here. But I'm going to be the same. I guess just in case you just get to know me, I'm the same. If you even check me out in Genesis, I'm the same. Check me out in Exodus, same. Leviticus, same. You see me in Numbers, I'm the same. Places might change, people might change, but my behavior, my attitude is consistent. I'm like a man that's building a house. I'll build your house right, I'll build your house right, I'll build your house right. I'll do whatever I do it right. That's the same. So you might not be able to go back and read everything and catch up, because that'll take you about, what is this, August? It took me about 8 months to get from Genesis to right here. But anyway, all I'm saying is join in, because you're going to see the behavior of God, the heartbeat of God being consistent. And all the congregation and everybody lifted up their voice. And all the congregation lifted up their voice and cried, and the people wept that night. Why were they weeping? Because God told Moses to tell 10 leaders of the tribes of Israel to go to the land of Canaan and go search it out. So in my mouth. Hold on. He said, go to the land of Canaan and search it out. Go search the scriptures. He said, I ain't got no problem with you checking up behind me. I told you to go to the word and check it out. Go search the scripture, see whether or not it's true. Go to the land and search it. See if it's what I told you in Exodus 23 and before. Go ahead. I told you, you got my permission. Check up behind me. Go search it out. Go see whether or not what I promised you, can you solidify my word? Or would it confirm what I said? And so the 12 leaders went out. 12 leaders, I'm lying that word leaders. I know we call them spies, but that's what they did. That's not who they were. They went to search the land of Canaan, but they were the leaders and rulers of the children of Israel. They represented the 12 families, all of Jacob's children. These are his leaders of the families. These are the heads of the family. These are the people that had a business in the family. The family looked up to these people. And so they went They went to Canaan and they checked it out. And all 12 of them came back, did what Moses told them to do. And Caleb, in the 13th chapter, while the other leaders was given a slanderous report. Good morning, Dolores. They were talking about that land slanderously. The word says, the word, God called it slander. Because I told you what the land was like. And if you say anything other than what I said, that's slander. We'll see it in the word today. So here it is. They went and gave a report, brought it back to the people who had never seen the land. And the people cried out and lifted up their voice and cried and wept that night. Your leader told you something. And you crying all night. You never seen it. That's how powerful a leader is. A leader is so powerful that these guys, not counting Caleb at this time, because Caleb was the only one that spoke up and said, we can do this land. And that's in the 13th chapter. 12 of them went. The Bible said, and Caleb fully said what he wanted him to say and believe. Now that was the leaders. And here it is, you got about 2 million people off track because of 10 leaders. If that's not what I see today, people will fight for the leader. Because let's find out what they did back then. We have not changed, not much. And but the change is here. But let's see whether or not we can check the word and parallel our lives with what God said here. And all the congregation lifted up their voice and cried, and the people wept that night. This is God's class. This is the class that he brought out of Egypt. And all the children of Israel murmured against Moses and against Aaron. You got the whole body in trouble. The leaders did. And all the children of Israel murmured against Moses and against Aaron. And the whole congregation said unto them, all these folks said unto them, we wish, would God that we had died in the land of Egypt, or would God we had died in the wilderness. He said, I wish we had died in Egypt. These folks were mad because the leaders stirred them up. The leaders misinformed them. That's what the word said now. And wherefore hath the Lord brought us unto this land? Why did God bring us to this land? To fall by the sword. We're getting ready to die. The leader said that. Now God never said that. That's why you better read this word for yourself. You better pick up this Constitution and stop walking around talking about I'm a member of the United States and you don't know the laws. We get up and we just say things because we heard somebody else say it. Well, I pledge allegiance to the flag. And I used to ask kids, what that mean? They didn't know. We just say it. But the leaders, these 10 guys, moved a nation. Millions. And I look at folk how they talking about, this big church and this big church and this big church and this big, this, that, da, 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 da. You got to give an account to every last one of them folk in your church. How come God brought us into this land to fall by the sword, and why, and then they're going to try to make it sound sympathetic. This the men talking. And wherefore hath the Lord brought us unto this land to fall by the sword, to die, that our wives and our children should be a prey. In other words, they're going to hurt our family. They're going to be a prey. They're helpless. Were it not better for us to return to Egypt? He said, let's just go back. Y'all read that? I ain't never read that before. Let's go back. Brittany, you ain't never read that. Well, because they talking about the leaders. Most of the leaders that I know, they don't talk about that. because that talks about their position. And I can't be sitting up there talking about my position. Get people checking me out. Let's just go on back to Egypt. And they said one to another, let's make a leader, let's make a captain. Let us make a captain and let us return into Egypt. And it's better for us to go back to Egypt. Let's just get somebody to take charge and let's go back. Out of those men that were chosen as leaders to go and search the land and come back and give a report and see should it match up with what God said. But let's just see what happened in here. And they came back and told them, no, we ain't able to beat them folk. We look like grasshoppers in front of them folk. Then Moses and Aaron fell on their faces. Moses and Aaron. They said, good God Almighty, what are these folk doing? Then Moses and Aaron fell on their faces before all the church, all the assembly of the congregation of the children of Israel. They went down. Is y'all crazy? And Joshua, the son of Nun, and Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, which were of them that searched the land, rent their clothes. Rent their clothes means, I can't believe it. That means that they were mad. That means I don't approve. Now, Joshua did not say anything in chapter 13. Joshua was, I went back and I checked him out. I said, why did Joshua not speak up in chapter 13? Because when the word says, and the other men, all the other men, they were not, they was saying some stuff they shouldn't have been saying. Or I don't know why Joshua wasn't named, but I can tell you what, when Joshua came on the scene today, Joshua was like, Caleb, I ain't gonna leave you hanging by yourself. They both felt that same thing. Now, Joshua didn't say anything in 13 now. I can kind of see that because Joshua was a fighter. And his name had been changed. Because Moses called him a different name. His other name was Hoshea. And he said, now I'm going to call you Joshua. I believe that got something to do with why he didn't talk. Because it was something about Joshua. You know how some men just got that. They said, it's better if I be quiet. I don't say nothing. If I say something, I'm a cuss. I'm a fight. I'm going to be quiet. I don't know why Joshua didn't speak up when Caleb was talking in chapter 13. But in chapter 14, Joshua knew. And what he saw them people do, the Bible said he tore his clothes, indicating that I am not with you. So anyway, why he didn't speak, I can't say. But I know one thing, today he's speaking up. Joshua been there now. He been there now. Joshua going to end up leading this thing. Sometimes God have to change your name because he's trying to get you to be known by a different name. Because a lot of times when I was reading, it said, Joshua, don't be scared. Be not afraid. Be strong. Be courageous. He heard that more than one time. But anyway, regardless, here he is today. And Joshua the son of Nun and Caleb the son of Jephunneh, which were of them that searched the land, rent their clothes, and they spake unto all the company of the children of Israel, saying, now this is not Joshua and Caleb speaking up, the land which we passed through to search, it is an exceeding good land. He said, these guys ain't got no business. Tell it, the land is just as God spoke. It's a good land. If the Lord delight in us, then he will bring us into this land and give it to us and give it us. Trying to get them people to talk. I wonder how they had the microphone back in that day. Because you're talking to 2 million people and we think we got it going on today. What they say, ain't nothing new under the sun. Because I was looking at them grapes and them figs and them pomegranates they brought back. And you showed to all them folks see how good it was. I don't know how they saw it unless they had a big old screen TV up there. That me thinking now. A land which flows with milk and honey. Because we still act just like them. I probably think they have some technology. They had some. Because when Joshua and Caleb told them folk, the land that we saw is good. And if we be careful, God will let us get in it. Them folk heard that. I wonder if they have Facebook. They had some kind of way of communicating with all them people. We're not talking about a few people. We're talking about millions. Only rebel not ye against the Lord. Neither fear ye the people of the land. He said, don't go against God's word. And don't be scared of the people that's holding our spot. For they are bread for us. Boy, we'll eat them up. Their defense is departed from them. They don't. When we walk in there, he said, God being with us. They are bread for us. Their defense is departed from them. When they see us come in, they gonna see the army of the Lord, all them angels and God, whoever he got encamped around us. See, the world sees something you can't see. You looking at the world and the world looking at you. You look big to the world, but we don't know that. And the Lord is with us. Fear them not. That's two guys saying, two witnesses saying. All God said, give me two, give me two, give me two, give me two. One witness said, see, if Caleb had went by himself and came back, he would have been telling the truth. But God said, y'all right now, I got two people telling y'all the truth, and then the millions are going against me. I'm for the ones that tell the truth. If I be for you, then the rest of them don't count. That lady driving fast, boy. But all the congregation bade stone them with stone. He said, oh, them folks getting ready to hit her. And the glory of the Lord appeared. I mean, not one of them rocks getting ready to hit them guys. Not one of them. You ran your mouth and down, you mad enough to pick up a rock. And the glory of the Lord appeared in the tabernacle of the congregation before all the children of Israel. God said, let me show you me, because I'm doing this while you talking. I'm rocking. I'm going to see how far you're going to take this. And the Lord said unto Moses, he said, come here, Moses. How long will these people provoke me? How long you think I'm going to put up with this, Moses? And how long will it be ere they believe me? How long is it going to take them to trust what I say after all I've done? For all the signs which I have showed among them. He said, how long is it going to be before they decide that I don't play? How long? He said, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I will smite them with pestilence. I'll send some through that land, and they ain't gonna know what hit them. I will smite them with pestilence and disinherit them. I'll take my name off of you. I'll take my will off of you. And will make of thee, and then I make you a greater nation and mightier than they. I don't have them up, Moses. And Moses said unto the Lord, in the conversation, the dialogue, he said, then, Lord, if you do that, then the Egyptians shall hear it. You know how they talk on Facebook? For you brought up this people in your might from among them. He said, now they used to you doing this, Lord. And they would tell it to the inhabitants of this land. He says, the word is out. If you do that, just like they already talking about you, and then you decide not to go and kill them, he said, your name, I'm trying to help you out. And they would tell it to the inhabitants of this land, for they have heard that you, Lord, are among this people. They bragging on you. That you, Lord, are seen face to face. In other words, you're not hid in the clouds, and you actually deal with people. And that the cloud stands over them, and every time the cloud stands over you, they know that's you. And that you go before them by daytime in pillar of cloud and a pillar of fire by night. He said, Lord, Facebook got you all. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all them other people I don't know, your name is out there. He said, now if you shall kill all these people as one man, he said, I know you can knock all these folk down just like you just knocked one. Then the nation which have heard the fame of you will speak, saying, because the Lord was not able to bring the people into the promised land, and to the land which he sware. unto them before he had slain them in the wilderness. He said, oh yeah, he couldn't do it. He said, Lord, your name be all over Facebook. If you get ready to kill these folk, how they acting today, what they talking about today, your name all, Moses said, I'm just telling you, he said, the word already out, you done brought us this far, it might well take us on in. And then Moses said, and now I beseech you, let the power of my Lord be great, according as thou hast spoken, saying, the Lord is long-suffering. That's what you've been telling us. The Lord is long-suffering and of a great mercy, forgiving iniquity and transgression. He said, you forgive us of our sins, the stuff that we do, that we didn't know we were doing wrong, and the stuff that we did know we did wrong. Some transgressions. I knew I was stealing. I stole anyway. That's a transgression. And by no means, he said, do you clear the guilty. He said, you don't let the guilty get by. You visit the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation. That's why it's so important that when you are a parent, that you teach your child what the word says, because that mindset will last a long time. Third and fourth generation. I hate your mama, my children hate your mama, my grandchildren hate you. And it's just been a tradition in our family. We can't stand you. That's why we got stuff that won't change. Because it's been taught by somebody in the family, and it just kept being taught and rehearsed and rehearsed. And that's why we still got a mess. God said, I'm going to visit you. He said, when I get through with you, if I visit your iniquities, I'm going to run it through the family. Your name, you go out there and you do something you don't have in the business, your children going to wear your shame. That's why you need to do what's right. And he said, but I'll bless you if you do right. I will bless you, and I'll let that last for thousands of years. Thousands. I'd rather have a part where my children got a good name, and they be blessed 1,000 years. Then he said, but of course, if you don't have a good name, you about 400 years of that bad name. Well, third or fourth generation is what the word says. He said, pardon, I beseech thee the iniquity of these people according to your greatness of your mercy. And as you have forgiven this people from Egypt, even unto now. He said, you always forgiven, Lord. You've been forgiven ever since they left Egypt. Every time I called and them 10 things they kept doing, you kept on forgiving. So do it. I need you to do it again. And the Lord looked at Moses and said, you through talking? You done? And the Lord said, I have pardoned according to your word, Moses. Every time I did whatever you asked me to do, you asked me to pardon them folk, I did. He said, but as truly today, I have changed my mind. In other words, and let me say it like the word says, but as truly as I live, all the earth shall be filled with the glory of the Lord. You better believe that I'm going to carry out my promise. Because all those men which have seen my glory and my miracles, which I did in Egypt and in the wilderness, and have tempted me these 10 times, and have not hearkened to my voice, 10 times. Let's see, I got these 10 times. He said, they talked about me at the Red Sea when it seemed that Pharaoh's army would destroy them. Time number 1. At Marah when there was found bitter water. I got the scriptures to back it up. In the desert of sin as they hungered. In the desert of sin as they paid no attention to Moses concerning the storing of the manna until the morning. In the desert of sin as they disregarded Moses concerning the gathering of the manna on the 7th day. Oh, you still acting up, ain't you? At random as they complained for water. At Mount Sinai as Aaron led the people in making the god calf, golden calf. At Taberah when the people raged against the Lord. At Kaborth Hava, in the grumbling provoked by the, rabble for quail. At Kadesh in the desert of Paran, when the people refused to receive the good report of Joshua and Caleb, but rather wished themselves dead. He said, I got my records. He said, I don't bring records up like that until I see you just won't change. I don't forget now. I know what you did, because I kept on letting you come out. He said, but today, Moses. He said, but as truly as I live, all the earth shall be filled with the glory of the Lord. He said, I'm going to carry out my plan. Because all those men which have seen my glory and my miracles which I did in Egypt in the wilderness, and have tempted me now these 10 times, and have not hearkened to me, have hearkened to my voice. It wasn't so much that somebody said God was counting 10 times. He said, well, I told you 100 times. Well, anyway, God could prove his 10. Even if he was just saying 10 times, many times. Surely they shall not see the land. He said, I'm gonna give you my word, Moses. I know you stand up for your people. I told you these were your Surely they shall not see the land which I swear unto their fathers, neither shall any of them that provoke me see it. He said, I'm giving you my word today. I heard you. He said, every time I forgave them, it's because of you. But today, they finna see the side of me. Or they finna stop seeing me. That's what they get ready to do. But my servant Caleb, he said, now he didn't say Joshua now. But my servant Caleb, because he had another spirit with him and had followed me fully. That made me think that Joshua was kind of holding back a little bit. Because Caleb, he said, he followed me fully. Him will I bring into the land whereunto he went, and his seed shall possess it. Now I'm going to do a little something for Caleb. Now the Amalekites and the Canaanites dwelt in the valley. Tomorrow return you and get you into the wilderness by the way of the Red Sea. Get on back down there where I parted the sea is. Don't turn around and go back. I'm just telling you that you 5 minutes from being in the city limits of Canaan. But I'm gonna need for you to get the arm and get to stepping. Get yourself on back over there to the Red Sea. Go back on that way. Because I already told you. And the Lord spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, how long shall I bear with this evil congregation? I ain't got time for this. You think you gonna push me around? I know. How long shall I bear with this evil congregation which murmur against me? I have heard the murmurings of the children of Israel, which they murmur against me. What's the difference in what we're doing today? God said, don't talk about the president. We talk about him every day. God said, I saw a lady and her daughter said they are lesbian lovers. She said, I fell in love with my daughter. She fell in love with me. And now we're together. You said, ooh. I don't know why God already said we'll do it. We're doing everything. And we boast about it. God been seeing they ain't the only one. I'm not surprised at anything I see people do. It's just being revealed. He said, how long shall I bear with this evil congregation which murmur against me? I've heard the murmurs of the children of Israel which they murmur against me. God said, I'm not deaf. I hear you when you're talking at home. I know you got an ear thing in your ear, that white thing hanging out your ear. You're not listening. And some of y'all got something that you can't nobody see it hanging out your ear. You still not listening. Say unto them, and me too, y'all. I'm just saying, I say y'all, but I'm talking about us. He says, tell them, folk, as truly as I live, said the Lord, as ye have spoken in my ears, so will I do to you. He said, now you done told me that you wish you were dead. He said, I'm finna grant your request. He said, I'm not doing it. I'm just finna give you what you said you wanted. I heard you. He said, your dead body, your carcasses shall fall in this wilderness. He said, this way you're going to die right here. And all that were numbered of you, according to your whole number, he said, I'm going to tell you who's going to die. From 20 years old and up. 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. And on and on and on and up and up and up and up. If you 20, he said, you ain't going over there. Which have murmured against me. Doubtless you shall not come into the land. He said, you're not going in there. You said, I would to God that I would have died in Egypt. I would to God that I had died in the wilderness. He said, granted is you going to die right here. Doubtless, he said, without a doubt. He said, I trust myself. I trust what I'm telling you, Moses. Tell him what I said. Doubtless you shall not come into the land, concerning which I swear to make you dwell therein. He said, I gave you my word you would come. He said, but I'm telling you now, I ain't doing it. Except Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, and Joshua, the son of Nun. He said, I'm going to let Joshua come in too. I got two that are going to come. This is the first time God said two. Right here in Numbers 13 and 14 now. But your little ones, your 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 16, 15, 14, on down. But your little ones, which you said should be a prey. Now you try to move my emotion to me. Our kids gonna be a prey to them people. He said the one that you said they're gonna eat them up. Then will I bring in, and they shall know the land which you have despised. He said now they gonna get the land. They gonna see it. Everybody 19 and under. But as for you, your carcasses, they shall fall in this wilderness. He said you're gonna die. He said, I get on back down into the Red Sea now. Go on back that way. Go back that way. Get on back down. Because you need to go back to class. You ain't ready. And your children shall wander in the wilderness 40 years and bear your whoredom. Your children got to suffer because of you. I'm not taking them in right now. He said, you the one that went a whoring. But your children got to be the one to suffer. In the wilderness 40 years and bear your whoredoms until your dead body be wasted in the wilderness, until you turn back into what you formed out of dust. Your bones, your carcasses, your blood, everything. You done ran your mouth too much. You thought I was a God that you could just, okay, let's see what God said. After the manner of the days in which ye searched the land, you went 40 days. They went out there 40 days, them 12 guys. He said, so it was 40 days you went, right? Okay, I'm going to give you 1 year per day. After the number of the days in which you searched the land, even 40 days, each day for a year, shall ye bear your iniquities. Even 40 years, and you shall know my breach of my promise. I done breached the contract. Write it down, Moses. I'm breaching it. I'm not carrying it out. You signed the contract. You didn't follow my instructions. So this contract is breached. It means it's no good. I was going to do for you what I said as long as you did what I said. So according to your word, you said you want to die here. And according to what you say, I'll make it happen. I, the Lord, have said, I will surely do it unto all this evil congregation. Now your leaders done got you in trouble. That's why I say I'm reading this book for myself. Don't nobody love me more than I love myself when it come down to my understanding. And I'm not finna follow behind somebody telling me what the words and I got sense enough to read it for myself. I ain't doing it. There was 10 leaders, and they were getting ready to turn in millions of people based on the fact that they contradicted God's word and told them folk and had that whole church all upset. Take your time and read the word. I, the Lord, have said, I will surely do it unto this evil congregation that are gathered together against me. In this wilderness they shall be consumed and they shall die. You said, Brenda, God's so done with that. No, he's not. No, he's not. This is the law. And when people don't live under the word, they still got to live under the law. You ain't going to have it both ways. How you going to do what God told these people not to do? And then now that you said, well, Jesus died for it all. Jesus died so you can have an example to look at him and say, look at me and copy me. Not for you to look at what you can do like they did and think you're going to get away with it. We got laws in this day that's against you doing something. You ain't got no business stirring up no crowd like that. You can't ignite a crowd like that and get these people to get off course. Not even today. If you're a leader of a people and got them going the wrong direction, these people cause harm to themselves, and then they getting ready to kill 2 innocent guys for nothing because of what you said, that's against the law in 2020. I can't go out there and cause no riot. God said, that's what you did. You 10 leaders caused a riot. It's still a law. People under grace don't do that. They can't, because there's someone inside them saying, I ain't participate, just like Joshua. Joshua ain't going down like that. And the men which Moses sent to search the land, who returned, and made all the congregation to murmur against him by bringing up a slander upon the land. God said, I told you what that land was. Go back and check Exodus 23. If you don't check it nowhere else. You slandered that land like that? You gave the land a bad name like that? And I promised Abraham, do you know how long I keep my word? I told Abraham about that land. I showed Abraham that land. And out of all I said, you go up there and spend 40 days and come back and tell these people something that I never authorized you to say. You're dying today. Even those men that did bring up the evil report upon the land died by the plague before the Lord. We just not seeing a corona. God said, I ain't been playing. I ain't never played. I'm just saying. He sent a fever across that thing and all 10 of them guys died. All 10 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the leaders, they are dead. So you cause these people to air my word and to say and speak against me and murmur against me, and they foolish enough to listen to you. They dying too. You better be careful who leading you. You better be careful who you marry. You better be careful who your boss is. You better stand up. You better say what this is, that it's not right. Because I'm telling you, God, that he don't have no problem with going down with it. He said, I ain't gonna make a mistake now. These guys cause all these people to be lost. That's why I'm telling people, get the document, read the word for yourself, and demand. You can either give me this word, what they say, Christmas ad, say, I don't want them guys. Don't let me start talking about that. But I'm just telling you, you tell me the truth, you don't tell me nothing. What did Paul reveal? One of them, somebody. We said, give me liberty or give me death. I don't need to tell him, tell what the word said. He said that every last one of them leaders that led that many people. That's why it is crazy today. And then I walked around Atlanta. Well, I wasn't walking, I was in my car. And I saw a reflection of the teaching of our black churches on the street. I don't know too much about white folk. They getting the same teaching too. They just look different. They getting the same old bad teaching. Going in the word, saying what people want to say, especially when they start talking about numbers. When Moses married that Ethiopian, everybody I see when they walk around that word, they skirt around it. God said, "You don't give my word all the emphasis that it needs." And then you keep on sowing that little prejudice into their church. I'm not against white churches. Some of my best teachers are white in the word. But every last one of them that I heard, most of them, they play around with Moses married to the Ethiopian woman. And he said, you just drop in. He said, I'm telling you something now, little yeast mess up the whole thing. You better get that straight. All that we got to do is change. He said, every last one of them guys were that played. But Joshua the son of Nun and Caleb the son of Jephunneh, which were of the men that went to search the land, still alive. They say he still live. Y'all, I feel like I'm in a math class. I can tell when a teacher before me have taught those kids well because it's easy to take them up a little bit higher. I had one teacher in Clayton County that when I got that group of kids, I said, somebody taught you well. You can tell when people been taught well. You can tell because they're going to say the same thing. They ain't going to be saying something the Lord told me. Now, let me read, let me see what he told you to that. Or are you bringing slander to his name? Trying to make people shout. All the stuff that, God blessed me with a new car. You still got to pay for it. Somebody got to pay for it. If you don't pay for it, somebody got to pay for it. And the new car come with gasoline, insurance. All I'm saying is those are things that the Bible said the Gentiles can get that. The Gentiles can get stuff. While we testify and jumping over, Gentiles got the same thing. The world said, you ain't got nothing on me. I got a car bigger than yours. Mine cleaner, look good, and I got a better house. Gentiles get that. He said, but one thing the Gentile can't get, they can't get revelation. They don't know my word. We compare too many Gentile stuff. And then we talk about what the world said. The Gentiles said, you talking about God gave it to you. I stole mine. Can't tell the difference. But I promise you, if you start speaking that word, you ain't going to sound like no Gentile. But we dancing and shouting and asking God for the word said, Jesus said that's what the Gentiles do. He said, boy, go sell that stuff you got and give it to the poor. Go be like me and come follow me. The boy said, I got to keep my Gentile stuff. I want to look like the Gentiles. Jesus said the only way you're going to look different, I got to be in it. If I ain't in it, you look just like the Gentile. They see you and I see you and you need me. But Joshua the son of Nun and Caleb the son of, he said they still alive. God bragging. Go count the one that dead. It two of them still alive, Joshua and Caleb. Y'all hear that? I'd be glad when we stopped that. And Moses told this saying unto the children of Israel. Moses said, let me go tell y'all what God just told me. He got on the internet, and just me talking now. He got on the internet and he tweeted this, and the whole nation got to tweet. And Moses told these saying unto the children of Israel, and the people mourned greatly. Now look how wishy-washy these people are. Now the 10 leaders dead. Now Moses told you they dead, and the 2 that living is the ones that told y'all, I done told my clothes because y'all acting a fool. Now the people crying again. Who leading these people? People got to be led. They got to be led, otherwise they'll miss. Now they done change their mind and start crying. Verse 40, and they rose up early in the morning. They got up after Moses tweeted that out. They got up early in the morning and got them up into the top of the mountain, saying, lo, we be here, and we will go into the place which the Lord has promised, for we have sinned. I admit I was wrong, and I want to go and do what the Lord. I'm going to finish the work of the Lord, and I'm sorry that I did that wrong. We just going to go and do what God said. And Moses said, wait a minute, hold on, y'all. Let me see. Let me check with the word to see if you can do that. And Moses said, wherefore now do you transgress the commandments of the Lord? He said, you ain't going nowhere. It ain't gonna prosper. When you thought you thought you were gonna throw that forgiveness thing in there, and just said we're gonna go and do what God said. No, you're not. Moses said, you go up there, you ain't gonna prosper. You're gonna lose your life. Moses said, go not up, for the Lord is not among you. You just decided that you could say I'm sorry again. Moses said that don't work today. We got to fully go out and carry out God's plan. Brenda, you too. And just every time you do wrong to move by sin, God said, wait a minute, hold up. Do you really take me seriously? Do you sling around forgive me because it's convenient for you to do it at will? He said, oh no, listen to what I told you folks. That's why he said learn from these people. Learn from them. Because I don't understand it where we say he died on the grace. That's because some leader told you that. Ain't what the word said. I mean, he died, and all our sins we can get away with because he paid for it all. I don't know how we screwed it up. But anyway, screwed up. He said, go not up, for the Lord is not among you, that you should not. Because he told you to learn from these people. What you supposed to be learning? What God would tolerate and what he won't. Because what they're going through and what we're going through at the end of the day. Jesus said, it's a whole lot of time Jesus told them folks, stop that. He stayed on them leaders. Stop telling them people that. You go tell that fox. Jesus went around doing good. But when it came down to the discipline of what the leaders ought to be teaching the people, he didn't play. He did the same thing that God is saying right here directly to these folk. And Jesus said, I'm going to be your example of what you can do to stay out of this. I'm going to show you what a good leader will do. Go in there and read and see what Jesus did he play. Do you think? Yeah, God forgave too. He forgave just like he kept on and 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 kept on. That's like 1,000 years of forgiveness to your children. If God counted 40 days as one day as 40 days, and if he said I forgave you 10 times, that's like being forgiven 1,000. I'm just saying that. Well, he forgave many times is all I'm saying. I ain't got no right to add to the word, but I'm just saying, even your job, let's just take it away from what you do. If you had a job, how long you going to put up with people that do this on your job? And that's your company. And you trying to further your business, but you got to deal with somebody stopping your progress. He said, even you don't do that. So how you think I'm going to take, what do people say? Moses said, don't you go up there. He tweeted that out. It's because God ain't going to be with you. And your enemies, them enemies gonna kill you before your eyes. For the Amalekites and the Canaanites, he said, for the Amalekites and the Canaanites are there before you, and you shall fall by the sword. He said, you get yourself up there talking about forgive me, and you walk out there and do that, you're gonna die. Because you are turned away from the Lord. Therefore the Lord will not be with you. That word. Let me tell you something else I read. And you go search, because I ain't going to tell you where I found it at, because I don't know. I know it's in there. The word says in New Testament, and I ain't trying to, if you don't believe what I'm saying, then you got to do you, because your leader told you that. Anyway. If we do right Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, but we always don't do right Friday. But we faithful Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. But Friday, we always get ourselves caught up. We just repeat that thing over and over again. Guess what time the word said, I guarantee you this. Just like God told Moses, I guarantee you them folk ain't going nowhere. Guess what God said he give you a guarantee on? He said, I'm going to get you on Friday. That's the day I'm going to get you. That's the day I'm coming after you. The day that you off. He said, you can keep coming to me and shouting and dancing Monday through Thursday. He said, but you're going to die Friday. Now, I'm telling you that, New Testament. I am going to get you Friday. You're going to die on Friday. Or you're going to be caught still, whatever it is. He said, I'm going to get you on the day that you, he said, I'm going to get you on the very day you're not paying me no attention. Since you think that you could just walk around and just do whatever you want to do and then get holy this day and holy this day and holy. He said, but the day that you off, because you got that pattern, I'm knocking at your door on the day that you off. What do y'all think when Jesus said it was 5 wise and 5 foolish, and then the 5 foolish came up to Jesus and said, I know you, you know me, Jesus, I don't know you. That's New Testament. We're supposed to learn God's behavior in the old so we know how to conduct ourselves in the new, because new people don't do what old people did. We don't practice that. You can't. You can't do it. It's something on the inside of you. You would have to confess that. There's a seed that remains in you that it cannot sin. You can't get away with it. Again, when he told us to forgive, that's because the people doing you wrong, not because you doing them wrong. Don't get it twisted. You ought to forgive those who harm you. And you can be forgiven, but don't live no life like that. God said, don't even make no sense. Why you going to work for a company and every time you late every day? You stealing all the time. You get caught up sometime. He said, I get that. But if that's your way of life, he said, why you call yourself a part of me? I don't act like that. He said, the world can't tell the difference between Gentile and a believer if you act like a Gentile. He said, don't even act like a Gentile. Don't even let that be named among you. He said, don't even do things that will cause people to make you think that you're a Gentile. Showing the very appearance of it. We got a greater position to carry because we got this law book. Them people back there were falling down like they didn't have this book. We got a greater covenant. We got the covenant itself. They didn't have an example to go by. Not in their hand. They had to wait till somebody heard from God to tell them, well, we got the pages. Okay, let's finish what happened. Moses tweeted that thing out and said, don't y'all go there. For the Amalekites and the Canaanites are there, and you are going to fall by the sword because you turned away from God. Therefore, the Lord will not be with you. Try it. When I told the Lord to forgive me, try it. I know I was wrong when I slept with her. Try it. God said, you know why you do that? Because your leader said it's okay. Your leader has not told told you what the word said, because they done made a law that certain things we just can't say. And this is in every language. This book right here is all one language, everybody. If it's 9 languages in the world, everybody got a copy of this book. All right, verse 44. But they presumed. I ain't got you up, Moses. We going on anyhow. To go up the hill top. They said, we going. We already told God to forgive us, so we're going to go anyway. Nevertheless, the ark of the covenant of the Lord and Moses departed not out of the camp. Moses, the ark ain't going nowhere with you. God said, no, God told you to go back toward the Red Sea. And the ark of the covenant ain't going with you. You ain't got nothing to protect you. Then the Amalekites came down, and the Canaanites, which dwelt in that hill, and killed them, and discomforted them, all the way even unto Hormah. So that's the word. That is Numbers 14. Still 2020 strong. Ladies and gentlemen, during this time, if we don't wake up and start to examine where we are and line it up to what God already said, all those people had to do was get the land, go there and search it. Like the word told the people of Thessalonica or people of Berea, search the scripture to see whether or not what they were being told was true. The people of Berea, people of Thessalonica, one of those. So them women went in there, they took the word and said, we got to see whether it's true. And then who was that? Jehoshaphat? And one of them guys, Josiah, one of them, they gave that book to that lady named Hull and said, check this word out, see whether or not this is the word of God. She said, child, yeah, it is the word. You in trouble. I'm just here to tell you that look at the word, examine what you're being told, and see if they match. If you see any indiscrepancies, modify it, because it's what God has spoken. It has not moved. If you've been told something that God has not spoken, just adjust it and then run on, keep going. We don't run things. We follow those things that have already been written. All right, gotta go. Have a good day. Okay, later. Bye.